Wait for that joint to kick in while the homies are loading in. I'll handle this business on the back end. All right, save that. The Discord know we're live, and we'll talk about it all. You know, we're gonna keep everyone up to date with what's going on at NBA 2K26, and we just got the gameplay reveal date, which is gonna be dope. I'm gonna get this joint ready. What up, No Cap? What up, Slacks? Rock and Talk. What up, Too Valid? What it is, what it is. Let the folks roll in and we see what we get to. Landon, Roscoe, AC Cotton, Dre Breezy, Clamps, Terrence. What's goody, y'all? Jay, Icy J. We are live, baby. We are live. Coach Z has entered the building. What up, Eric Cunningham? Salutes everybody in here. Javon Taylor. No Cap said I'm hyped for 26. How many folks are... Let me raise this volume up. I probably sound low. There we go. I was wondering how many people are still excited. NYC, stand up. What up, man? Cactus Jack. What up? NBA 2K26 gameplay. I just dropped a video on this topic just a little while ago. I'm trying to start to move already. And in the video, we kind of went back. We went back to see what NBA 2K said with this same update last year. At the same time last year, how did 2K tell you, or what did 2K tell you the game was going to be like? What up, LaShawn? What's good, OG? Kill him, Kyrie in the building. What up, y'all? Shy, I see you. What up, Shy? Shy said, I'm always excited for 2K. I appreciate it too, Valid. Appreciate you as well. 87 in the chat. My career should be its own mode away from the park. When we hooping, I'm about to get on soon. I'm getting on later today. Mud Dog, what's goody? Much love, much respect, y'all. 2K Baller said same bull-ish. Every year, huh? Agent Q has entered the building. What up, Dylan? All City, I haven't pre-ordered. I have not pre-ordered, man. I don't even know it. Listen, I'm gonna pre-order. That's just a fact. I'm gonna pre-order and probably pre-order every single year. If I wasn't a 2K content creator, would I pre-order? If I wasn't a 2K content creator, would I even buy the game? I don't buy FIFA. I don't buy MLB. I don't buy Madden. If I wasn't a 2K content creator, would I even be buying NBA 2K26, or would I wait until it's free? The only time I ever experience any of the other sports games are when they're free. Barely get on them. No new b-ball purchase until EA college basketball. That is if EA does indeed win that licensing to create that basketball game. There's still a fight going on, y'all. There's still a fight. 2K and EA are just going at it for that college basketball game. 2K Baller said every mother effing year. Same sales pitch. And that's why I'm here. It's why I'm here, y'all. Been seeing this every year, year in and year out. This is why we're in this live stream. This is why I dropped the video I did just a little while ago. So that we're not so easily... I've been finessed, man. I've been getting let down since 2K21. And it took me a couple years after that to kind of say, yo, what in the hell? Now y'all selling garbage. Like, what? And y'all wrapping that up in some real nice packaging. So we're here again. New year, new release. And we're going to see how 2K, in this live stream, we're going to see how 2K sells us the game. The gameplay for real for NBA 2K26 takes place July 31st at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The official gameplay reveal. Your first glimpse at NBA 2K26 a couple weeks after they already gave you out the pre-orders, man. I was playing live last night, having a blast. Look at that. Nothing but love. You're the only person I listen to. Appreciate you. Awesome. Awesome, Austin. But there's plenty of great creators in the 2K community. I definitely appreciate you guys watching me, but give some other dudes a shot, man. They're coming up. Hop Skip, what up, man? Hop Skip has entered the building. Bama! Bama said, Bama ready to start it up. Bama said, who wants a membership? Y'all know how Bama does when Bama comes in the stream, it's like bam, bam, bam. Man, oh man. What up, Bam? Y'all should be answering. Y'all should be answering if you want that membership. The reality is, as long as there's no competition for 2K, the game is going to be questionable. And 2K behind the scenes works their magic to make sure that there's no competition. The college licensing company recommended the license for EA. They recommended 2 conferences that EA gets that license because they offered the best proposal. 2K fighting on the back end, going directly to the conferences. Bama sent 10 gift memberships. Salute to everybody who got a membership. Thank you, Bama, for making that happen for the community. All City family out here. Y'all be sure to thank Bama. And if anybody else wants to become a member, all you got to do is type !join. The link will come up and you can become a member today. You'll get a badge by your name to help you stand out from the crowd. 162 in the chat. W Donos from Bama. Again, gameplay reveal July 31st. That's Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We will be here. We'll be here for that gameplay reveal. I imagine they're gonna do it right under that. It shows their Twitch stuff, like they do those Twitch live streams. So I'm not certain if they're gonna try to announce it during a Twitch live stream or they'll send out a separate post. But you guys know I'm on top of it, especially during this time. With God's blessing, I'm here. So we'll make sure to keep you guys up to date the second that we get additional information. Let me pull this down. What up, Ty Warren? I'll definitely keep grinding, man. What up, Erwin? Anderson, I see you. For what you've seen for 2K26, do you know what you're running or you're still waiting on more info? Yeah, this is what Awesome Austin just said. And yeah, people keep asking me what I'm going to be running first. And I think this is going to be one of the most confusing years because 2K has to make a pivot. I don't think anybody, there could be some glimpses of 2K25's gameplay, but it can't be no copy and paste. And I think 2K is not going to make it a copy and paste per se, but I'm uncertain as to what 2K is going to allow to be effective. I just did a video on gameplay restrictions, which you guys might want to catch. And I asked you guys to watch this video before you make your first build. Because regardless of what the builder offers us, regardless of what gameplay even looks like during the first week, we get a whole week of early access for NBA 2K26. If you pre-order the $100 edition or the $150 edition with a 10% discount, you'll get 7-day early access. And that's we're like paying full price to be beta testers. And that's quoting iPod King Carter. Watched one of his videos and he made a good point that we're all paying to access a beta and we're paying full price. And what we experience during that first week will determine what the day 1 patch is going to look like. So are we expected to make builds during that first week? Should I make a build during that first week? I imagine I am, just to kind of test the waters. But it's like more than likely that build is going to be a failure. After that first patch, right after that day 1 patch. We don't know if tall guards are going to be effective. I spoke to the homie Tron and he mentioned a 6'6". I was leaning towards the same thing, like a 6'5" or a 6'6". I would love to see 6'5s back in the game at the PG position. But we're just uncertain as to what 2K is going to allow to be effective at the 1. I'm thinking a point guard. But if during that first day, it just seems too erratic and, we're unable to determine what's effective, then I might lean towards something safe that I could use later on in the year instead of just wasting $100. 210 in the chat. What up? What's good, y'all? Make sure you hit that like button when you come in, please. It helps the algorithm. It helps it get out, the stream get out to more and more people. Keys, no cap, and what the homies say. I just realized how much VC do you have in total from every 2K till now? And if we can transfer that amount into 2K26, how much would y'all have had? Mine's has got to be a couple 100,000. Kill him, Kyrie, about to hit 5K. For the folks that are just tuning in, I know we got 213 in the chat right now. The official gameplay reveal date, if you just tuned in, is going to be July 31st at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. You know, I want to read. We're going to do a couple things during this live stream. One, we don't want to get finessed. So that's like the goal of this live stream. I know people are tired of the finesse, the fluff, and it doesn't seem, you know, especially during this rollout for NBA 2K26, it doesn't seem like 2K is fully aware that their finesse marketing is not working the same. And I don't think 2K is fully aware yet. I was reading in the video. Yeah, you got to check the video I posted earlier because they had some funny stuff in there. What up, Babacar? What's going on, man? Ronnie 2K sent out this post right here. It says, silent moves with loud results. Stay patient. NBA 2K26. How? If you tell me this before I continue, what is Ronnie 2K's aura right now? Can y'all tell me with this photo? Just put a percentage number in the chat, like 0 to 100. I'm curious to see what y'all come up with. But 0 to 100, what is Ronnie 2K's aura right now? Can y'all put that in the chat, man, so I can see what the community, what the player base, what are the people thinking of Ronnie 2K's aura right now? Babacar said, I'm good, just chilling on vacation. Blair said negative 1,000. Money more money said negative 1. Shy said 1. A Go said negative 1,000. Slimmatic said negative 5. Sheem said negative 100. OG said a 0. Babacar said negative 1 million. Oh man. There is none. That joint got me in tears. You know what? Just because of that, I gotta pull up this post. I gotta pull up this. Give me 1 second. Let me load it up. I'll bring that Ronnie negative 1 billion. I'll bring up that Ronnie 2K post in just a second. But I was I'm in tears because I'm thinking of the comment that I'm about to show y'all. Look, I'm literally in tears. Hold on. All right, let me let this thing load up. So I read. If you saw today's video, then you know what I'm about to show. But y'all gotta see this one. He said 0.0 TZ. Brandon said his aura is on 0.001, but he needs to be graded. They said Ronnie 2K needs to be graded out, bro. Y'all got me sweating, B. That's crazy. All right, hold on. Let me pull up this post. Hold on. Let me make sure it's wide enough. I was reading some of the, man, I'm in tears for real. Hold on. I was reading some of the because, you know, I'm tired of 2K thinking that they're marketing the game as if they have the player base's backing, as if we're just like so awestruck by the release of an NBA 2K26 game. And it's like, I felt like we're in different worlds here. And Ronnie 2K sharing this arrogant post as if people are just anxious. We know that a lot of people are anticipating the release of NBA 2K26. But that's mainly because NBA 2K25's gameplay is so bad. So it's not like we're anxiously waiting for it and happy about it. Everybody seems to be on edge. We don't know where 2K is going to take gameplay. But anyway, when I saw that post from Ronnie 2K, I'm like, ain't that some level of arrogance? Ain't that the wildest arrogance to think that he has this crazy aura? Salute to Ronnie and everything he's accomplished, by the way. I appreciate his work ethic. But I wish there was more self awareness for both Ronnie 2K and 2K as the company. I just wish there was more self awareness, a connection with the community that allows them to see how people are receiving their game. And when I went on the Ronnie 2K's post, forget about it. It was just an endless sea of negative comments saying, fix your game. One of the funniest posts that I seen, it was one of the first posts I seen from Parlays Are Us, said, I had a dream you got hit by an elephant tusk. When I was recording the video, I couldn't help but laugh when I was recording the video. Who says that? I have Running 2K post that had that aura post, and Parlays Are Us said, I had a dream you got hit by an elephant tusk. And I thought it was the funniest thing because damn, that's got to be the worst aura in the world. That your aura has people seeing you like you got hit by an elephant tusk, bro. But I was in tears when I saw that. Um, Man, that was good to me. That was good. There was a bunch of negative comments though, consistently. Just the majority of the comments were negative. I, I mean, even the good, even the decent comments weren't complimentary. It was just hopeful. Uh, we ain't had a good game since 20. That's how I feel as well. I feel the same exact way. It was since the first time that I ever deleted a 2K before the end of the annual cycle was NBA 2K21. Subsequently, I've deleted every single 2K since. In NBA 2K25, the first week it got deleted. And I wasn't sure if I was going to continue on, but I gave it a shot, thinking maybe if I get the right build. So I started creating tons of different builds to try the game from different vantage points to see if I could find some sort of level of success. That the gameplay, the slow and clunky gameplay accompanied by PlayStation's latency made playing NBA 2K25 on PlayStation unbearable. Since making the switch to Xbox, it's been a lot better. Bama with a $20 super chat said, will they really know what to nerf, being the Bills are nowhere near their potential until you get cap breakers at starter levels? Cap breakers has changed everything. It's a good thought. And it's something that we got to consider. I imagine, the crazy part is that we're not the engineers. 2K is supposed to take the feedback from the community, from the player base, and apply it accordingly. Surely, these players are going to advance their gameplay with cap breakers, and NBA 2K26 is promising a whole new way to get cap breakers. So we might experience more opportunities to get cap breakers in NBA 2K26, which means that players are going to evolve. Will they be able to balance that out is what Bama is asking, and I appreciate that, Bama, but that's still yet to be determined. Dylan with a 199 super chat, appreciate you. He said Ronnie got them 2002 lean with it, rock with it jeans. Yeah, I don't know what Ronnie is thinking with that. Another comment that I had seen under Ronnie 2K's post says something like, Ronnie, you're 50, bro. Start a family. I was like, damn, they going at his head. I agree. We got to make our first build with that in mind, so it's not a throwaway build. And you know what sucks, y'all? I feel like every build that you make within the first few months is going to be a throwaway build. Maybe it's me. I'm a content creator, so it could be different. Maybe you guys don't have higher expectations. Maybe some of you guys are okay with certain builds, but through these patch updates and the huge changes that come to the game, they minimize the effectiveness of certain attributes on any particular build, whether that be shooting, stealing, driving. It happens damn near every year. And I think 2K has become wise to that when they saw that their revenue just spiked after patches because people were making so many new builds. So now they just drop patch for the sake of dropping patches. Do you guys think that's intentional? Is it intentional for 2K to drop a patch now? Are they just too fully aware of the amount of, success that they get after each patch? My first build going to be a center, not taking any risks. That's what I usually lean towards, a center. on the first build, because you could rep up, you could continue to rep up quick, and you're not, a liability to your team as long as you have that IQ. Fear God said, I got a feeling. Let me put this down so the chat can be. Oh no, I didn't want to put that up. 300 in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. HVO Rick said he's 50. I thought he was like late 30s. Oh man, why are they still giving 2K25 codes out? Fear God said, I got a feeling that they might cut some VC before buying some. I'll still play with my first build. Yeah, some people are like that. I've come across a few people who will play with one build damn near the entire year, but they are so far and few in between. The good majority of the players have, like 2 or 3 builds. And as you become more familiar with 2K, you end up working your way towards, at the very least, creating 5 builds, 1 for each position. So you could always fill a spot. I'm thinking center too, but they need to fix rebounding. I know they can't wait to start patching builds. Whoever find the meta. 2K everything but stupid. They patch themes. Coach Z said 2K is everything but stupid. They patch things aimed at us making new builds. Would you do the same if it was your business? You see a spike. I don't think I would. I would probably do it, but in moderation. I imagine if you, because there's a gigantic spike in revenue that they receive after a patch with people making new builds, because the gameplay is so dramatically changed. What was once effective becomes useless, and players end up finding new ways to be effective. Then that gets patched, and the cycle continues, rinse and repeat. He said 1 build per cycle. God bless. Well, God bless. That 2K will be. If I only made 1 build on NBA 2K25, I wouldn't have been able to sustain the entire year. It would have been unbearable. I need different vantage points to keep it exciting, because 2K's gameplay is not exciting to me. Ironically, the game that I had the most fun on, NBA 2K20, grinded all the way to legend and played damn near on the same build the entire year. The 2-way slashing playmaker build. Damn near the entire year. Grinded that build all the way to legend. He said, I ain't pre-ordering ish. Yeah, 1 build per year is crazy. Instead of giving us animation packs that can give random layups or dunks, we need to be able to fully customize our own layup and dunk packages. So we was talking about that. That's a good topic you brought up, by the way. We'll get into like what 2K told us for gameplay last year in just a second. I'll pull up the video. But that's a good topic to discuss, because we were talking about that. There's, 2K offers animations in packages. But what happens is there's certain animations that either you don't use within a package, whether that be dunking, layups, or a dribbling package. There's certain animations that you don't use. Maybe an escape to the right is effective, but the escape to the left is not effective. Things like that. And we were kind of wondering, we was creating this dialogue, wondering if we could choose particular animations from different packages to make up the exact type of dribbling we want. Bama with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Bama. He said, have they mentioned anything about fixing the terrible directional passing? You don't know where that junk's going unless you icon pass, which is why I icon pass 98 to 99% of the time. I don't think they have an intention to fix directional passing. They haven't mentioned anything about directional passing, but more so, I icon pass. I've become accustomed to it, to 2K's weaknesses with pass accuracy. So you can't trust the directional passing. But even still, with the high pass accuracy, 95 pass accuracy, you still fall victim to poor physics within passing, where, your high pass accuracy doesn't prevent you from beaming a defender right in the face, and he doesn't even react. Man. You would think if somebody gets beamed right in the face, they'll have some type of reaction. Like, damn, homie, you got beamed right in the grill piece. there's some type of reaction. Nah, bro. 2K players be eating those darts to the face, and they just keep moving. So the trajectory of these passes are brutal on NBA 2K25. Should I make a 6-6 or a 6-8 build? I think, man, it's tough. I think they'll probably play very differently. So it's hard to say what you should or shouldn't make right now. If I was gonna choose, like if I had to choose right now whether to make a 6-6 or a 6-8, I'd probably lean towards the 6-6. But man, that's just iffy. By the way, again, hit that like button if you guys just tuned in. It'll definitely help get the live stream out to more people. Hands need an attribute we can upgrade again. I am making a 6-6 and a 6-9 lock. Interesting. Taller, they did mention that. Well, Uncle Demi mentioned we can expect taller defenders, just like we could expect taller ball handlers to be effective. He also mentioned we could expect taller defenders. Do we get gameplay today? I'll pull up the image right now for the folks that are just tuning in. If you just got here, the gameplay reveal date, and I dropped the video on this just a second ago. You guys can check it. It's on my channel. But the gameplay reveal date is set for July 31st at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's this Thursday, y'all. So mark it on your calendars. I'll be here sharing that information with you guys, sharing the details and breaking down whatever information that they actually give us on Thursday. I imagine that they're going to give us additional information. I don't know if gameplay is going to be separate and we're going to get information prior to Thursday. But I know the week of July 28th, which is this week, we're supposed to be getting gameplay and Powered by Pro Play information. So, maybe we'll find out how many more useless animations 2K intends to add to NBA 2K26. From what I understand, it's supposed to be the finalization of Pro Play this year as well. So maybe there'll be a little bit more fluidity, or maybe Pro Play is the culprit behind why NBA 2K25 is so clunky, slow and clunky, and maybe NBA 2K26 will be just as slow and clunky if it is attributed to Pro Play. If gameplay is attributed to Pro Play, I don't know. The first week is always the funnest, and then the patches come. A lot of people do have fun the first week, and I think it's a mixture of players are developing their builds. So a lot goes on during the first week. It's like you're able to do more because the defenders have less. So it's almost like whoever grinds the most during the first week gets a step ahead of the competition for a number of weeks. And that's how it is for like the first couple weeks, and then everybody starts understanding the game better. Defense is better, and offense is better as folks start getting those badges up to par. There's one thing that I wanted to get into. Let me put this up. I'm making a Spider Mitchell build in 26. Nice. All right. I wanted to show you guys what they marketed to us at this time last year. What they told us about gameplay and how it was going to be this time last year. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's on. And the reason why I wanted to do that was the reason why I want to do this is because mainly I don't want us to get finessed again. Maybe expectations get too high, but I'll show you guys. Let's just get into it. I'll just show you guys. Again, it should be ready to go. Yeah, it should be ready to go there. This is what Mike Wang had to say about gameplay at this time last year, which is what we should be seeing on Thursday. Something of 2K markets damn near the same way every single year. So we should be seeing something like this coming this Thursday. Let me pull up this image here. As you guys see, the gameplay reveal is July 31st at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I imagine we're going to see something very similar, but I want to review this video from Mike Wang and what he said about NBA 2K25, and we'll match that up to what we actually...
So Pro Play is an exciting new...
Put on my headset. I almost forgot because I can't hear it with y'all. Sorry, I'll rewind it. I want to be able to hear it with y'all. What up, Dog Life? What's good, brother? Mike Wing, Mike Slang, Mike Dang. Pause. All right, let me rewind it.
So Pro Play is an exciting new technology that we introduced last year, and it allows us to take real NBA footage and translate that directly to the on-court gameplay.
So if you guys didn't know what Pro Play is, he just explained that it takes real NBA footage, and they're able to turn that footage into animations. Now, from my perspective, I always saw that as a good thing because I was under the impression that they would, through Pro Play and capturing motion through NBA real life footage, you get to see like the players playing at their best. Motions in the player that you wouldn't see if someone just put on a motion capture suit because they're competing at the highest level. And that's where 2K is taking motion from in order to animate on NBA 2K games. So I was thinking that Pro Play was going to be a huge benefit for like generating motion and animations in game. That was my thought process behind that, because you catch players at their best, and when that adrenaline is pumping, they get lower to the ground during dribbling, higher up when they're jumping, as opposed to, putting on a motion capture suit, uncomfortable motion capture suit with this equipment on and going into a studio, to make that happen. I could be wrong about all of that. What up, Wild Child? What's going on, man? But I'll let it continue playing.
So it brings a whole new level of realism and authenticity to the gameplay experience.
So what can you tell us
Dribble
about the new Dribble engine in NBA 2K25?
This is one of the most amazing upgrades that we've had to our engine, probably in 15 years. So this is
So the homie, before I continue, I rewinded a second ago because it talked about the Dribble engine. But Shy just said properly is good, but they didn't do the smooth transitions. It took FIFA a year or two to get to that point. And that's exactly where we experience the most clunkiness when you're transitioning from one dribble move to the next, or one move to the next in general. There's just this weird like glitchiness to it that doesn't make sense. And it's like 2K slowed everything down to help make it make sense. But it just has, 2K players frustrated because they're moving so
probably
slow.
in 15 years. So
25.
This is one of the most amazing upgrades that we've had to our engine, probably in 15 years. So this is a new Dribble engine built from the ground up that takes basically all of these Pro Play animations that we have, over 1,500 animations, and it dynamically creates all of the movement and all the transitions that you need to make the dribble move exactly the way you want it to move.
Now, were you guys moving? I could just tell you guys, I surely was not moving the way I wanted to move on NBA 2K25. I had to adapt to movement. I had to learn that I was limited here and restricted there. I had to learn these things because if you could see a lane right in front of you, point A to point B, you can see a clear path there. That path was instantly obstructed by force fields, or like body up animations that weren't there when you started your run down that path. So I don't know, y'all. We're gonna let this joint play off. 15 years, a whole new, one of the best upgrades from Mike Wang's perspective that they've had for 2K games, and a dribble engine that was built from the ground up surely doesn't seem that way. Doesn't feel like this dribble engine was built from the ground up. Am I tripping? Where was it? And why do we need to suffer and go through these motions of like beta testing a whole new dribble engine? And who called for a new dribble engine in the first place? Who asked for it? Which one of you guys in the stream asked for the new dribble engine? Which one of y'all guilty? Which one of y'all guilty? Want a whole new dribble engine?
We've had 9,000 new Pro Play animations to the game this year. A lot of them are shots, signature shots, so nearly every player in the league now.
That's another thing I wanted to mention. I'll rewind this some more again. 1,500 new dribble animations. How many dribble animations do you guys find effective in NBA 2K25? He just mentioned 9,000 new Pro Play animations, and most of them are shots. How many jump shots are effective on NBA 2K25, man? The dribble moves were boring. Ain't that something?
new pro play animations to the game this
9,000.
year. A lot of them are shots, signature shots. So nearly every player in the league now has a signature shot. One of the cool things that we added was this feature called signature go-to shots. So if you remember in 2K24, you could flick the right stick up and you could do a little size-up sequence to get open, right? In 2K25, if you hold the right stick up, you can do a size-up sequence that branches directly into your jump shot. So it's a nice way to get open and get some shots off.
Let's say a player wants to recreate moves from their favorite NBA superstar. How does pro
said
stick
RNG.
rhythm shooting?
He said RNG is the only thing that's effective on 2K25. Worst thing is, Juan Marte said, worst thing is when you have an open lane and they will make you go into a layup animation when you clearly had an open lane for a dunk. And then you have that high dunking attribute and it still does that. J Fu said, bro, I feel like I'll push my finger through the controller, holding turbo and not moving. Why? Yeah, because you could take this super wide angle. And mind you, this never happened in any, the older versions of 2K. This never happened. If you see a lane, you could just literally dart right to it and right through it. Or you had a behind the back option that allow you to change directions quickly to get into that lane. 2K nerfing all behind the backs, moving behind the backs we're talking about. Now, we've got effective behind the backs on standstill dribbling, but moving behind the backs to help shift your direction quickly, non-existent for the most part. What do you got? The Fox dribble animation to take that crossover into a midi dive or a drive. That's pretty much what you got. But before we used to have these behind the back animations that gave you similar results to the Fox crossover.
Yeah, so pro stick rhythm shooting is probably one of my favorite features of the game because it's just a new way to play, new way to shoot. So in the past, it's always been the same, right? You hold a button down, release it to get your shot off.
Either. We was talking about that yesterday. You got all these animations, 9,000 new animations, and Mike Wang said the good majority of those 9,000 are jump shots. Can I ask you guys, if you had to put a number, like a figure on how many jump shots are effective, can you let me know how many different jump shots you found effective on NBA 2K25? But 2K spent the good majority of their, time developing 2K25 to change all these jump shot animations, and the good portion of the community only use a handful of them. Why is that? Can we understand, why does that happen? And why I feel like the dev team is sometimes just misguided, because why are we investing so much time into something that the community doesn't necessarily use? Look at FaZe said 5. Weezy said 1 jump shot. 1. All we need is 500 tops. Slimmatic, Cam Thomas, and Jonathan Isaac. No cap said I'll be using a custom jump shot. There's less than 20 bases being used worldwide right now, I bet. That's what Timmy Turner said. Base-wise, maybe 10 total. So then this is what I'm getting at, because this is what we're going to see on Thursday, yeah? When they talk about pro play, they talk about, how many more animations they added in. This is exactly why we're doing this live stream in the first place. Is I wanted to remind everybody how they marketed it to us last year, or how they sold it to us last year. And look at the gameplay that we got. FaZe said only Patty and Cam, the only jump shot bases you could use. But Mike Wang just said they spent a good amount of time incorporating 9,000 pro play animations, and most of them were jump shots or go-to shots. Is go-to shots a W or a L? Is it a failure or a success? I don't even know if I used the go-to shot once or a year. I know players liked go-to shots. I know some players enjoyed it. And when you think, at least for me, when I think of a go-to shot, a player in the community, if anybody that would make using go-to shots effective, the first person that comes to mind is the good homie Black Cobra. That could use that mechanic, like the mechanic that 2K incorporated of go-to shots. But if I'm not mistaken, even Black Cobra wasn't happy with NBA 2K25's gameplay. I could be wrong about that, but I could have sworn he sent out something saying he wasn't happy. Hop jumpers are way better than the go-to shots. He said, "What is the top 5 jump shots out of the 9?" Is that Jamal Aldridge? I need to get him. Is that Jamal Aldridge? I gotta get you your mod back. Give me a second. I gotta get you that mod back. After losing my channel, after being hacked, I end up having to Jamal Aldridge. I need to get, and I ended up having to do all the mods again. Where'd you go? There we go. Add moderator, standard, save. All right, there it is. Let me go back into the chat. 2K26 has to be good, or they've officially lost millions of sales for future 2Ks. I wish that to be true. I wish it to be true. Here's the thing, because I believe 2K has what it takes to make a good game. They're just not, either they're misguided in the development process, or they just don't care enough. Like, sales haven't made them care enough as of yet. But I wouldn't count 2K out, even if this year is a bad year, because if they have to get on their A game, I think they'll rise to the occasion and shock everybody. 26 is about to disappoint everybody, and we shouldn't be surprised. This is what Kia the Gem. Mud Dog, I'm sure they're counting all the combinations of release 1 and 2 to get 9,000. Is a 26 going to be buns? It would if y'all don't pre-order it. We already come to terms. Like, I'm saying this from a perspective where I know we've already come to terms that we're not going to unite and go up against 2K and use our wallets to speak our minds. So from that perspective, because I've been going through this for years, trying to get people to understand that they shouldn't spend as much, and I've realized that 2K just ends up making more money year over year. So from the perspective that we know uniting as a community, like some other gaming communities unite to shut down publishers, won't necessarily happen with 2K. I don't think the player base cares enough. So they just go and play different games. That's the way in which they speak to 2K. But 2K already got their money, and they've created this revolving door of a player base where the dedicated fan base that once was is not nearly there. The culture that 2K once had is not nearly the same. So we'll let it continue on and see what
With real stick rhythm shooting, what you want to do is you want to try to match the rhythm of the player's shot. So you pull the right stick down, and when he gets to his set point, you push the right stick up in rhythm with how he shoots in real life. So if you master...
Some of the best shooters that I've seen in NBA 2K25 use rhythm shooting. But some of the biggest complaints I hear about rhythm shooting is that oftentimes it doesn't even register you're attempting to take a rhythm shot. The idea that Mike Wang thought that this was going to be successful, as if their servers are responsive enough to incorporate a mechanic like this, it just blows my mind. Especially if you're playing on PlayStation, which is wild to me. I show you guys the green windows from the test at NBA 2K Labs, the differences in green windows from rhythm shooting to button shooting, and it was night and day. And I just noticed when I was recording this earlier that Mike Wang actually says if you rhythm shoot, if you master rhythm shooting, you're gonna have way more success than button shooting.
Sure, rhythm shooting, you can actually be much better than someone who uses traditional regular button shooting.
He just said it right there, and I'll pull up the image from 2K Labs. I'm pretty sure I got it. Could be under... I gotta let this thing load up. Let me let this thing load up so I could pull up the differences in green windows between button shooting and rhythm shooting. NBA 2K25. It's got to be under shooting here. Yeah, there we go. Let me show you guys these differences in green windows real quick. Let me make it larger for you guys so you guys can see it on screen. And, you know, watching that Mike Wang said it on stream, These are the differences in your green window. The good folks over at NBA 2K Labs found out. By the way, if you guys sign up for NBA 2K Labs, would like to sign up to find the best jump shots and prepare for NBA 2K26, you know 2K Labs got you covered. You can use promo code ALLCITY and save yourself 20%. But from 2K Labs testing, look at how big the green window is, represented by the blue line for rhythm shooters, versus the button shooting, which is represented by the red line. There's so much room for error with rhythm shooting. You have room to slightly early or slightly late your shots. You have a larger green window. There's just a bunch more grace there, as opposed to, you know, the button shooting where you have very little room for error, very little slightly early or slightly late grace. It's just how it is. And the only, you know, although players have become accustomed to rhythm shooting, I don't think it was a good, in my opinion, it wasn't a good mechanic. That's just my opinion. If you're a rhythm shooter, you probably share a difference of opinion, but it just feels unnatural to me, especially if you're running the one, to use rhythm shooting over button shooting. It just, And I hate that 2K made it so that their green window is so much larger than a button shooter's green window. And that's what we've been accustomed to for as long as I can remember, button shooting. Why can't we have the same green window size? What is the reason we cannot have the same size green window? That makes no sense. If it's a matter of preference, then why can't we have the same green window? Man, it just blows my mind. You know, I could understand rhythm shooting for a spot up. A spot up, it makes more sense. But when you're trying to set up your dribble combinations and then having to hit on the same stick that you use to set up your dribble combinations, you have to use the same stick to rhythm shoot. People do it. I've run with players that do it. Salute to them boys for making it happen. But, oh, man. They want to make everything a skill gap. But, you know, too, when they say they want to make everything, and let me go back into the full screen right here, because when they say they want to make everything a skill gap, I get that idea. But, you know, where I see 2K, what they're failing to understand is that the skill gap, it's like in the strategy of the sport. That's incorporated into the strategy of the sport, the IQ that you have individually and how you guys play out the strategy. And I'm thinking more in a 5v5 setting. You know, like let's say we're running a zone and one person lacks IQ on proper positioning for a zone, and then the whole zone breaks down. Is that mentality of like, you know, the skill gap shouldn't be in the shooting mechanic. It should more so be in how, as a team, you know, I don't know about the 1v1s, but how you're able to understand the game and be in the correct position to prevent the freaking shot or drive. How to prevent the opposing team from converting. Period. That's the strategy of the sport. Why did 2K think they needed to apply the skill gap into shooting is beyond me. Open shots should be rewarded as such, considering you have the attributes to hit an open shot. The strategy behind it and the skill gap behind it is how open are you when you're taking that shot? That's how it's always been. The only difference is that defense in previous versions of 2K was always a few steps behind as far as development goes. But now we got good enough defense to incorporate or bring back, you know, the idea of strategy creating the skill gap, not skill gap incorporated into the shooting mechanic. I don't think anybody should hit any, you know, just any of their shots. I'm talking about players like myself who you know, you start your day maybe in the lab, especially during the beginning of the year, you start your day in the lab learning your jump shot. These type of players who invest the time to create a certain level of muscle memory so that way you can hit your shots consistently. This was the routine for players for years playing NBA 2K games. And the players who mastered their shot, you know, they hit more. The good majority of the players, even Win shooting was static. Your green windows were static. The good majority of the players were 50. It was an insult to shoot 50%. So much so that they called you 50, not 50 Cent. They called you 50 because you only shot 50% and you only hit half your shots. And now we got a game where 2K flipped this completely on his head, and we got a game that says 50%, shooting 50% is considered successful. Too much hand-holding going on. Bama with a $50 super chat said, my theory is pro play doesn't allow animations to be canceled by firing another animation. If you get the space you wanted, it may be gone by the time you get control of your player again. Can't shoot or drive mid-animation, and it sucks. One of the biggest frustrations. We got a whole new dribble engine. One of the biggest frustrations is exactly what Bama just described. You're going into an animation, and sometimes when you trigger an animation that, generates some sort of contact with a player, for instance, what comes to mind is dribbling. Me running the point guard, I'm coming up the court, and I'm triggering a step back, escape backwards as I'm coming up the court. I stop, attempt to step back. The contact from the defender ends up latching on, and I end up getting a canned animation that continues me forward maybe about 4 or 5 steps, damn near into the paint when I'm trying to step back at the 3. Not even registering that I'm triggering an escape. The correct option, escaping from the defender, is not even registered. And sometimes, if it does register, it just goes into a queue where after this canned animation of pushing you down 4 or 5 steps, it'll then, release the animation that was queued up. So many times that you just don't have control of your players, and 2K is taking over. Too much hand-holding in NBA 2K25, and we don't need that for NBA 2K26. I'm going to let this joint continue to
just want to play casually, you're just picking up the game for the first time, put it on low, or put it on real player percentage, and just try to take good shots. And as you get better at the game and kind of master your timing, bump it up to high, and you're going to see that you're going to perform way better than you did with the other profiles. There's a new shot canceling feature. So what it allows you to do is to break out of any advanced shot. And just like the go-to shots we talked about, the signature go-to shots, you can break out at any time. So if you start one, you're holding the stick up, and then you see the defense collapse, or you see an opening, you can flick the right stick to do another move, to chain out of it, or you can just throw the left stick and take a lay into the basket. It's like a way more robust hesitation feature.
Should you buy NBA 2K26? Big RJP TTV just asked that question. Thank you for the subs, man. Appreciate y'all. Got Greenaway said, good question. I could tell you this much. 2K has let me down over the last 5 years so much that if I wasn't a 2K content creator, not only would I not be pre-ordering NBA 2K26, I would not be buying NBA 2K26, but I will be playing NBA 2K26 when it's free. Y'all take what y'all can out of that, or what y'all want to take out of that, but that's my thoughts on it. They should add a legendary difficulty and a diamond difficulty for 26. Yeah, there's definitely no league pass. The league pass that you would normally get with the most expensive version of NBA 2K games when you pre-order is no longer available and has been replaced by 4 season passes. So if you guys purchase season passes, that could prove to be a benefit for you. I'm uncertain. I never purchased season passes, but from what I hear, they have VC incorporated into them, and you can get yourself some additional VC. Hoax with a $5.99 super chat said 2K wants to create a skill gap, and at the same time, they want bad players to win games. Make it make sense. Absolutely. Make it make sense, man. You want to handhold players, but then still have a skill gap. Again, this idea of what Hoax just mentioned, where they want bad players to win games, that's more due to engagement optimized matchmaking. A study was done at UCLA finding out that players are more likely to hop off the game if they're not getting wins. And if players are getting too many wins, players are just as likely to disengage from playing 2K because they're fulfilled. So, this engagement optimized matchmaking helps create this balance that you win some, you lose some, win some, lose some, win some, lose some. And from that experience, players are more inclined to stay engaged with the game. So that's the theory behind it. And it was a study in UCLA of over like 1 million players, something like that they studied. Haven't paid for a full price or put any money except for 1 year in the last 10 years. Nice. Salute to you. If 2K was a good game, like if 2K26 is a good game, I dead seriously don't mind spending money on it. Like I mentioned in a previous live stream, when I was into Call of Duty Warzone, I didn't mind at all spending money on packs for new guns or new skins. I just didn't mind. It was just so fun that it was worth spending money on the game. 2K games, I'm finding it very difficult. I'm finding it very difficult to justify the spending, and this year's I'm gonna approach it with even more reserve. The first month I spent a lot of money on NBA 2K25, but after that, damn near nothing. After that first month, I got blessed just not too long ago, maybe a week or two ago, spinning the wheel. I hit for 500K and I made another build. Bama, salute to Bama. Bama sponsored my point guard build. He said, I just want to see you out there. Go and have fun, City. So, I don't recommend spending on this joint until they show improve. The only reason I justified buying these games was because of League Pass. And now it's not in it. I'm not getting it this year. Hope it's good. I hope the game is good as well. We'll let it continue on.
Mike, you know the saying, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. So what does this mean in NBA 2K25?
Well, yeah, defense is a huge part of the game. It's something that's people don't always look at it as being the coolest part of the game, but it's the most important part, I think, to win games. So, there's a number of new defensive mechanics and upgrades to this year's system. One of my favorites is one we're calling the defensive movement system. And so if you're holding down the intensity trigger, you can slide left and right laterally or forward and back even, and you can cut off the ball handler. And if you can anticipate well and you do it at the right time, you can cause them to lose their dribble or pick up their dribble. If you're the on-ball, lockdown defender kind of guy, then that's the thing you want to master.
I'm so excited to see how pro play is evolving.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Alexis. And I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the 2K community. It's your feedback that helps us shape the game to be what it is today.
It was you. It was your feedback that helped shape 2K to be the game that it is today. Which one of y'all are responsible, man? Which one of y'all told Mike Wang we need slow and clunky? We want passes to beam defenders in the grill. We want the most sensitive baseline out of bounds calls ever. We don't want 3 seconds to be honored. Give them 24 seconds in the paint. We want free throws to be the most difficult shots in the game to green. We want all of our dunking animations to turn into layups for the slightest bit of contact. Who said it? Which one of y'all watching are responsible? Pure Bills coming back? Who asked, truly blessed Jay say, I want to know who asked for the slingshot effect. Who asked 2K to put that slingshot effect in the game? If you guys don't know what the slingshot effect is, damn near, if you play in the rec center, damn near every third quarter, there'll be this tremendous weird swing. You're up by 20 points plus, forget about it. The swing starts to happen and you start seeing the wildest, goofiest, out of your control gameplay you've ever seen on any 2K ever. He said Uncle Demi. I mean Uncle Demi. He said it was Uncle Demi. Oh man. I know doggone well it was you all city. Oh man. Dog like said that's Uncle. Everybody's blaming Uncle Demi. Damn. What Uncle Demi do? You said Uncle Demi asked for the slingshot effect, asked for this RNG? Nah. Shai said, when it comes to our feedback, we need to be a bit more conscious of how we ask and give better detailed details. Unfortunately, I don't agree. Suke's not giving us what we want. They never do. They never give us what we want. It's so far stretched out from what we want. Pause. We ask for the slightest, simplest changes. And they stretch and, I don't know, they go down the street and around the corner and say, well, you asked for it. And then have the community saying the same thing. Well, you guys asked for this. If you don't get out my face, bro, I don't agree. We're not the developers here. It's up to 2K to translate what we're asking for in the best way that they can. And over the last few years, 2K has gone like a totally, in my opinion, at least compared to the things that I was expecting or wanting out of gameplay, they've gone in such a far direction from it when they needed to just make the slightest bit of change. Those are my thoughts. I don't know how many of you guys agree with that, but oh man. He said, wow, city pause, but they do be stretching. Demi was tripping with the NBA Jam stuff, but who knows? So the thing is, like, you know, they do have Dawkins Glass in that image. Dawkins Glass refers to this guy, Daryl Chocolate Thunder Dawkins. I know a lot of you cupcakes watching right now probably named yourself Chocolate Thunder on the court. I already know. You get on the court, you're giving everybody the pound. They're like, yo, what's good? You're like, my name's Chocolate Thunder. I will be damned if I tell Chocolate Thunder to take a backdoor cut mid-game. I will be damned. Ain't no way. I had to call you CT or something, but Chocolate Thunder ain't it. That's never happening. Mike Wang is whack, he said. Bring back the custom shirts for sure. You know, Ronnie 2K blamed us for, you know, not being able to create custom shirts anymore. He said, we gave you guys a good thing and you guys screwed it up. No, stupid. You gave us a whole t-shirt creator in NBA 2K18 and you allowed people to upload images that you know weren't going to be good for 2K. So, of course, everybody was uploading this and that logo and naked pictures and all this weird, goofy stuff and putting them on t-shirts. He says spam 1 if you hate Ronnie 2K. Chocolate Thunder definitely going to be on the leaderboard. That's why. Watch somebody name them. Mess around. Oh, by the way, there's new leaderboards. If you guys didn't know about this part, I could just talk about it a little bit. There's going to be new leaderboards in NBA 2K26. Not only that, the person that's on the leaderboard at the top spot for the leaderboard each and every day will have a 12-foot statue erected in their name, in their honor. So you'll see a 12-foot statue of your player in front of the game mode that you play, whether that's the theater or the rec center. So that's pretty dope. Yeah, how is that? Yeah, how is that our fault? Exactly. That's what I was saying. How is that our fault? Shoot like Curry one game, the next I'm shooting like Charles Barkley because it's made to drive you insane. That's what shooting is this year. What game will tell you like you're taking your shot but not tell you that your green window is shifting? That's wow. Do you know we will have new affiliations? I don't know as of yet. I doubt it. They'd be stupid, in my opinion. They just started reincorporating affiliations. They'd be, in my opinion, they'd be stupid to get rid of them. If anything, they should keep banking on the same affiliations because it's the last part of the old 2K culture that we have. The last remnants of the older 2K games. Say, so a guy with a 20 win percentage is going to get a statue. That'd be crazy. Ben Simmons build going to be the meta for 2K26. The drunk Texan said, I'm finna crash out all city. Darren Anderson said, I always wondered who actually put 2K together because I think people who create this game don't play the game. That's exactly how it feels because half the stuff that you see in NBA 2K25, if you're, you know, even part of the gameplay team, you're like, hell no, we can't let this go out. Or this is completely unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable. Let's make an adjustment to fix this. But 2K25 gameplay has sustained in its goofiness the entire year. Unstable, erratic and inconsistent, slow and clunky. Hey, All City, Tyler Brown, what is your opinion about them using a bash system similar to NBA 2K23? Not saying this is happening, but I think it would be a great way to promote build diversity and adds a certain level of grind. I don't know why 2K went away from the old bash system that we used to have, but I actually liked the old bash system. It allowed room for more content. So from a creator's perspective, I really enjoyed it. I actually started out, you know, this YouTube journey talking about badges, trying to work my way into the NBA 2K community. So I really like the strategy behind, you know, the old bash systems. Why they went away from it, I have no idea. It might have something to do with the RNG. But yeah, I would like to see something like that. Granada said, appreciate you, Big Old City, for being here for the community and letting us vent. I don't blame y'all. I be venting and then folks be coming at my head. Yo, City, you always complaining. Man, when you come from playing the older 2Ks, who is not going to complain about this game? Who wouldn't complain? When you see, we run a Discord. For those of you who don't know, if you're just tuning in, 400 in the chat, appreciate y'all being here. But we have one of the largest 2K Discords out there. It's the All City Discord. You could type !Discord and it'll come up. Oftentimes, I'm running with players in our Discourse, 33,000 players in there, but we've created a subcategory, a subgroup of players that had to try out to get into this exclusive chat. Running with these players, how often I hear, yo, City, on my friends list, nobody's playing. My friends don't even play this game anymore. How many of you guys have heard or said the same thing? My friends, they don't play 2K, so I had to, find new people to run with. Bro, it's so sad from where we came. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. Like when you come from some of the more fun versions of 2K, and then you play what we got in front of us now, it's like, hell no, ain't no way that this was better than that, or that was better than this rather. They playing, they just hiding from you. He said they're playing, but they're just hiding from you. Maybe he was the bum. Maybe those people were the bums. They're like, nah, we're not playing with them no more, B. Go offline. Go offline. 2K works backward. All you have to do is bait them into something we don't want, and they will actually put out something we really want. Ain't that some? That's how it feels. 2K is working backwards. Copy and paste, 19 or 20. I would love to see it. At this point where 2K is going, I would love to see it. In fact, it's expected, 2K Insider Uncle Demi says it's expected that we're going back to the 2K19, 2K20 type of vibe of gameplay. And if that is the case, we should experience faster paced gameplay, more explosive type of gameplay where more players have more at their disposal. Whether you're a defender, ball handler, whatever position you play, you just have more at your disposal. You can perform better on the court. We'll see if that translates in NBA 2K26. He said 9,000 animations for what? Only 2 work. Mud Dog says, I don't complain, call me crazy, but I've enjoyed every 2K since the PS3. I think. Salute, man. I'll skip 2K26 and buy Borderlands 4 instead. Nice. Well, we went through what Mike Wang had to say. You guys got to see in this live stream how Mike Wang showed you guys pro play for NBA 2K25. The first glimpses of gameplay for NBA 2K25. You guys are now about to receive this same information for NBA 2K26. As you guys see on screen, the gameplay reveal date and pro play information is going to be revealed on July 31st at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Do you think we're going to be finessed in the same way again? That is why I wanted to show this video in this live stream to remind everybody of what they told us. A whole new dribble engine built from the ground up, 1,500 new dribble animations, which Pro Play was supposed to dynamically make for smoother transitions. The game has never been so clunky in 2K history. 9,000 new animations, and most of them were jump shots, is what Mike Wang said in the video we just shared during this live stream. And what? We got a few jump shots to choose from that are effective and successful. They just gonna even out the animation. The game gets boring when YouTubers are telling everyone to spam the same dribble. Listen, it's not a YouTuber's fault. I'm not saying you're saying it's a YouTuber's fault, but it's not a creator's fault. There's only certain moves in game that are way more effective than others. What usually determines effectiveness is speed when it comes to dribbling. That's usually what determines effectiveness or shiftiness. You know, depending on a shifty type of animation, which still goes into speed. How fast can you move from one direction or transition from one animation to the next? That's usually determines what's considered effective or meta in NBA 2K games, has been and always will. So it's 2K's responsibility to make sure that more than a couple moves are effective, man. That joint be annoying as hell because they've been doing this for so many years, over 2 decades now, and still fail to get it right. If you see a dribble move lasting 3 seconds to execute, it's wrong, Mike Wang. Take it out the game. Nobody's going to use it. Or nobody's going to be able to use it effectively against other good players. I can tell you that much. There's 5 good step backs in 2K25. Wang's fault and his stupid dev team. That's what the homie said. 388 in the chat. I got you covered. I've been on this 2K stuff. Every day I get up, double check all my resources to make sure there's no information being dropped. Anything that's new coming out about NBA 2K26, we're uploading and live streaming here about it. So if any of you guys are new here, you want to stay up to date with information on NBA 2K26, definitely consider liking up this stream and subscribing to the channel. I got you covered. Did Slim enter? I didn't see Slim. I might have missed him. I hate how passes get cutters open and defenders, but hip pause. Hip to hip pause. All right, man. On that note, I'm finna wrap it up. I'm wishing you guys, I'm about to get on the game. And like I said, I normally run with our Discord community. So if you guys want to join Discord, just type !Discord in the live stream chat. You could actually come into the party that I'm going into right now. You just got to subscribe to our Discord in order to get access, or you can wait for tryouts. And if you shine during tryouts, you have access to the same room. 2 ways to get in. You can either subscribe and support our platform, not on YouTube, subscribe to our Discord. Or you can wait until tryouts and get access and then come into the room, say what up, and just vibe out and chill. This is what we do daily. Everybody's welcome. It's free to join Discord, but if you want access to me and the rest of the All City team, definitely consider subscribing or, you know, making those tryouts. So shining through those trials. Wishing y'all a safe and blessed rest of your afternoon, man. Y'all be easy. I'll catch y'all on the next video or live stream. Later, y'all.